from NBC Sports. We welcome in Pierre McGuire for game number 2 at the Garden. Pierre, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Mike. Good to visit with you.
My pleasure. All right, Pierre, let's start out west. This thing is snowballing by the day as the Kings continue to rampage their way through the West. Clear now that they will be a favorite come the finals. An 8 seed as a favorite. Remarkable story, Pierre.
It is, but they were gross underachievers during the regular season, and that's a big reason why they were an 8 seed. They had to scratch and claw basically right to the end, Mike, just to get in the playoffs because they didn't compete as hard as they had to or should have during the regular season. They got their coach fired, Terry Murray. They got a replacement coach in Daryl Sutter, who's a professional coach that knows how to get the most out of his teams. He did it in San Jose, did it in Chicago, did it in Calgary, bringing them to the final in 2004 in Calgary. So he's a professional coach that knows how to squeeze guys and get them to the next level, and he's done it with this group.
Pierre, let me ask an obvious question. Is the talent weaker? Are the teams weaker in the West, or is this team a juggernaut right now that's going to give either the Rangers or the Devils a real fit?
I think they'll give either team a real fit. It's not because the West is weaker. It's just because there were so many upsets in the first round with Detroit obviously going out to Nashville. I don't consider that an upset. I thought Nashville would get to the Western Conference Final, and if we would have had an L.A.-Nashville Western Conference Final, it would have been a different deal. I think we would have had a different deal if Chicago had got there, but obviously they got knocked off by Mike Smith and Phoenix in the first round. So we lost a lot of teams early on, and obviously the defending Western Conference champs went out to L.A. in the first round, Vancouver, and they were the 1 seed. And it was a 1 seed probably playing a 3 seed in the first round. That shouldn't happen, but it did just because of what happened with L.A. during the regular season. But, Mike, this team is really good. They're deep down the middle. Anse Kopitar, Mike Richards, Jarrett Stoll, those 3 guys in particular can take over a game. And then, obviously, you see the mobility and the depth of their defense there. And Jonathan Quick in goal. They're for real.
How about a team playing on this level, Pierre, night after night, road, home, winning by, open lengths every single game, dominating game after game?
Yeah, well, again, it comes down to their depth, their size. It's taken them a long time to get to this level. They've done some very good drafting. Mike Fuda is their chief scout, and he's done a fantastic job finding homegrown talent. They took a kid back in 2008, Vyacheslav Voinov, and for 3 years they let him get cultivated in Manchester in the American Hockey League, and now he's playing on an everyday basis, and he is a superstar-type defenseman that's just kind of finding his way right now. But you watch, he's the Los Angeles Kings version of Ryan McDonough. And so you can go down the line and look at all the players that they have in place. A lot of them were homegrown, and some of them been through shrewd acquisition. But the biggest thing, Mike, when they break down, they have Jonathan Quick, who might be right now on the same level as Henrik Lundqvist, which is a pretty big piece of praise.
All right, Pierre, let's get to game 2 here tonight. We want to see if the Rangers can actually get 2 games up in a series, take a real substantial lead, or did the Devils bounce back? Now, let me play for the audience Brodor's comments and give me your thoughts on Brodor's remarks, which have drawn some, or really have become a bit of a controversial statement. Let's listen.
They're hot, they're blocking pucks, but hopefully we'll be able to hurt a few guys hitting one-timers on the foot and off their head or something. But right now they're paying the price to win, and that's what playoff hockey's all about.
What do you think of those remarks? Yeah.
In baseball they have brushback pitches.
Yeah.
And in football, sometimes linebackers say, we're going to come in there, we're going to stomp the quarterback before the game.
Right.
This is just trying to plant the seed of doubt.
And trying to say we're going to shoot high? Is that? They're trying to say that basically that if you go down, we're going to shoot high and we're going to hit you in the head? Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't speak for what Marty's saying, but I do know what happens during the playoffs, and there's a lot of rhetoric one way or the other. And one of the real weapons for the New York Rangers is their shot blocking. They're fearless. They're unbelievable at it. They're the best team in the league at it, and Marty would know because when his New Jersey Devils were winning Stanley Cups, especially under Jacques Lemaire and Larry Robinson, they were the best shot-blocking team in the league by a mile. Nobody was close to them. And Marty played behind that, and he was the beneficiary of a lot of their shot blocking. And the Devils were as good or better and created basically the template for how to block shots.
Did they block anywhere near as many as a block now, or was it just the clutching and grabbing and what they allowed in those days?
No, they fronted as well as anybody. Guys like Kenny Danico and Scotty Stevens and Sean Chambers, they were as good as there was in terms of blocking shots.
Okay, so they even blocked a lot then. I thought that was more a recent thing, blocking shots.
No, they were really good at it. Now it's become more of an epidemic with more teams doing it just because copycat philosophy in our league. And John Tortorella and the Rangers have done it as well or better than anybody. Mike, I'll tell you a quick anecdote from the Winter Classic this year. I'm doing the game. I'm between the benches, and John, it's outdoors. And John's telling his guys, if you don't get in the lane to block shots, you're not playing. I'm standing right there, and I'm listening to this. And his guys are going, yes, coach, yes, coach. They're buying in an outdoor game. That's not a playoff game, and they're doing it. And they end up winning the Winter Classic, and they win it because they just sacrifice a little bit more than the guys from Philadelphia. And you see that what they've done. They have got everybody on this team buying in, and it's working for them. So Marty Brodeur is saying, well, you know what, we'll play a little possum with them. We'll play a little game with them. And he's planting the seed of doubt. Mike, I learned a long time ago in a playoff series, there's three things you need to do. One, you have to create concern for your opponent. Two, you have to try to stimulate a little bit of doubt for your opponent. And then you have to create a whole lot of fear for your opponent. And if you do those three things in a playoff series, Mike, you got a real chance to win.